Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Talk. I'm Jon Berry, and in today's episode, I shall be discussing my hopes, my wishes, my dreams for the last installment of the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. As you may have already known, this past week, the start of filming has begun in Pinewood Studios over in England, and the principal cast has been announced as well. I won't reiterate what every Star Wars YouTuber have said in regards to them repeating the list, as I really don't specialize in the news on my channel. Nevertheless, I do want to open a discussion on some of the cast members, or should I say their characters. Let us begin with Princess Leia. It has been announced that Princess Leia will appear in the film using unused and unseen footage from The Force Awakens. My wish is that J.J. Abrams will use her in a limited and respectful way. I actually want them to kill Princess Leia off relatively soon in the film, because I want her scenes to be as unawkward as possible, as I can only imagine that there is only so much footage from The Force Awakens that they have, and that will fit into what they have decided on to be the plot and the story for episode 9. I also think it would be very unique to have a character die due to the effects of exposure and then to have a subsequent on-screen funeral. Something new, and it's different, and it builds off The Last Jedi in a logical way as she was exposed to, well, vacuum, but more specifically radiation in space when she was blown out of the Radis. I also want to say that I hope they have Princess Leia die much more logically and reasonably than her mother, because dying of radiation, in my opinion, is still much better than dying of a broken heart. That just didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't. Who knows, but radiation, yeah, that's a very reasonable way for a character to die. And I kind of hope that's the way they decide to take the character. Next up is Luke Skywalker. To put it simply, Luke is obviously going to appear as a Force ghost. I think that is one piece of speculation that is going to be true. The only question remaining is, will his role be one of a mentor, and will we get to see new abilities and methods of Force ghosts interacting with the physical world? Perhaps one of the biggest pieces of news out of all of this is that Billy D. Williams will be reprising his role as Lando Calrissian. I doubt it will be an overstatement to say that every Star Wars fan wanted this and is happy for this. The only question remaining is how Lando will fit into Episode 9. I do not believe this. I do believe this could make or break Star Wars as a continuing franchise, based off of how the fanbase became split and so divided after The Last Jedi. I have no doubt that they will get his character correct. I'm only concerned about what his role will be. My hope is for his role to be that of a leader who has come in with supplies, with ships, and with troops to help support the resistance, but also in a reasonable way, and I think some good old financial resources will also be in order. That would be logical because the resistance needs those. And we know Lando has some assets. We know he owns a droid manufacturing company in the post-Return of the Jedi era of Star Wars, based off of Star Wars Last Shot. So, battle droids to help fight against the First Order, maybe? I think that would be good, building off of what we have learned in the books, but it wouldn't be non-foreign to people who don't read the books, as they are aware that battle droids have been used in Star Wars because of the prequel trilogy. Though I will not get too much more into this, as I do not want to be dominated by my preconceptions of what Lando's role will be beyond some general assumptions we can make. Of course, a few new actors have been announced, but as I am not familiar with their work, I shall refrain on speculating about what their characters could be. Lastly, I am glad that Captain Phasma has not been announced to be returning. As I said in the previous video, please go watch it, I do not want Captain Phasma to be brought back. They've already pushed her survival between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Additionally, those films and the marketing hyped her up, but she ended up being somewhat lame. This is so true also when you compare to how badass she was presented in the Phasma novel and the Captain Phasma comic, and linked in the cards will be my reviews for both of those. Now, what are my hopes and wishes for the story itself? Well, all I can say is that I am not sure what they really are yet. But I do want a satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga. I do expect for the First Order to be defeated and for the Resistance to be victorious. I honestly do not see them ending the Skywalker saga in any other way, as they have given no indication that they might do a fourth trilogy in the Skywalker saga, and most everyone's in the general consensus that the Skywalker saga will end with Episode 9. But most of all, what I hope is that the filmmakers have included a decent time jump between The Last Jedi and Episode 9. For me, I want it to be at least a year, because to have a galactic scale war be fought and won by a small ragtag rebel group in a few weeks is laughable and unrealistic in any universe. I think you still might be too short, but it's still better than a few weeks or months. I would prefer a time jump of a couple of years, but I'll take a year. Please, 1 year time jump, J.J. Abrams, minimum, if not a few more years. Maybe 4 years, because of when The Force Awakens came out. It was going to be 4 years ago when this film actually does come out. I think that'd be a good idea myself, but that's my opinion. Before I end my video and take the discussion to the comments, let us just remember one very important thing. If we are too preoccupied on our own hopes, dreams, wants and desires and preconceptions, we will in no doubt be sorely disappointed by the final product of Episode 9. We must not dwell on our hopes, dreams, and wants and desires too much. Yes, we should acknowledge them, but we should not be ruled by them. It's in a way like how if you focus on your anger and your hate, it won't be that good for you, both in real life and in Star Wars, because you'll turn to the dark side. I think it's safe to say we don't want to be preoccupied on them, because do we really want to be disappointed because of our own expectations that had really no basis in what has been revealed to us? That is really up for each of us to decide individually, and I can't force you to think any other way, but I do want to just plant this seed in your mind that your own expectations do affect what you think of the final product. Thank you for watching the latest episode of Star Wars Talk. If you enjoyed the episode, please like the video and let me know in the comments what are your thoughts regarding the casting decisions for Episode 9, and what are your hopes and wishes for the film. If you are interested in seeing more Star Wars content from me, how about watching the playlist that's on the right side of the screen? But before you do that, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be notified when new videos of mine come out. Thank you for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you always.